One in 4 women will miscarry in her life, and dealing with the loss and trying to conceive after a loss can be really tough to do. So today on Lunchtime Live at the Center, we're talking with Christina Mailhos, Executive Director, and Alicia Johnston, Program Manager, both of Hope After Loss, about getting the support and resources you may need during this time. Welcome, Christina and Alicia.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Can you talk a little bit about what Hope After Loss is?
Sure. We are a Connecticut-based nonprofit who is here to help the pregnancy and infant loss community in whatever way we can. Our mission is to help those who experience pregnancy and or infant loss to find the inspiration of hope by providing connections, comfort, and care, and which is a pretty broad mission. And the ways that we do that are many. So Alicia can tell you more about our actual programs. If you want.
Okay. I looked on your website. Have you been around for 23 years?
Yes.
How did you get started or how did the organization get started?
Yeah. Well, it started with a OBGYN, Dr. Berman, who was based out of Yale in New Haven.
Okay.
And he had a series of patients who had different types of losses who he ended up connecting with one another so that they could be a support for each other. And then they ended up reaching out to others and eventually creating this nonprofit and just growing and growing over the years. And then they started offering support groups, and they started offering caregiver education and burial and cremation assistance. And it had a different name in the beginning. It was called Hygeia, and so some people might know it as Hygeia, but now I think it was in 2014 it was changed to Hope After Loss, which is probably a more appropriate name, because that's the idea is that we want people to find hope, and hope can mean a lot of things to different people. For some who've experienced this kind of loss, it's really just to find peace and some sense of normalcy and feeling like you can move forward. So that's what we're here to offer.
You talked a little bit about the programs. Alicia, could you talk about what programs you do offer?
Absolutely. So we have 3 main programs. The first is bereavement support, and that's for those who have experienced a loss of a pregnancy or infant. We provide monthly peer-led groups virtually since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as one-to-one support. All of these supports are given by trained support group facilitators who are actually bereaved parents themselves. In addition to our bereavement support, we offer a lending library, which includes literary bereavement resources for all ages and experiences, a list of resources to parents who have experienced a loss, support for friends of the bereaved or family, and resources for providers. We also have burial and cremation assistance, and that's available for any parents who reside in Connecticut who have lost a baby but can't afford the cost of burial and cremation. And we take referrals from this program from local hospitals or from other inquiries online. And then lastly, we have outreach and education programs, and these are for professionals to raise awareness among medical and other professionals of the effect of pregnancy and infant loss on families. By fostering discussion between bereavement parents, clients, and professionals, we help professionals gain an insight into experiences of those who have lost a baby. We also have offered scholarships for caregivers to attend the Gold Star Resolve Through Sharing perinatal bereavement training.
Wow, you guys do quite a bit. That's amazing. You offer a peer-led monthly support group, but you also mentioned peer-to-peer. So you have one-on-one support as well?
Absolutely. So if a parent is having a hard time maybe attending a support group, or they find it a little overwhelming at first, which we hear quite a bit, they can either reach out to me, or I often get referrals from other professionals or caregivers. And I reach out to my network of amazing facilitators who are, as I said, all bereaved parents, and I connect that person with a facilitator who has had a similar experience, so they can connect and talk and just share experiences. And the facilitator often acts as kind of a guiding light. And we work towards getting them involved in the community and support groups and events and those types of things.
That's lovely. Are these all of your support groups and your these resources, they're currently virtual? Are they going back to live meetings at any point? Did you ever have live meetings?
We did have several support groups in various locations across Connecticut. For the time being, we are virtual, but we're definitely looking into in-person support group, but just definitely being cautious of COVID and what the community is feeling most comfortable with right now. But it's definitely on our radar, and we want to evolve as a hybrid model so we can cover all of the people that we have reached nationwide and worldwide.
Yeah. Any other resources that we should know about?
Absolutely. So we have for the caregiving community RAC cards that kind of explain what Hope After Loss does, our programs, our resources. These are available for any clinical practice. We have clinical bereavement cards and sympathy cards, tissue packs with our logo and website information that anybody can pass along to patients at the time of their loss. We have burial gowns that are donated and made by volunteers out of donated wedding dresses. They're made in preemie sizes, and these bring families a lot of comfort at the time of a loss. In addition, we have donated blankets for subsequent safe arrivals. We offer anniversary bereavement cards to be sent out on dates that are important to bereaved parents. And we find that it's a gentle way for parents to know that their baby is being remembered, and it's a nice way for them to see their baby's name. We also host monthly virtual remembrance events to honor babies that are gone too soon and to foster connections amongst the pregnancy and infant loss community.
Now, that's just so lovely. Why do you think I mean, this just seems like it'd be so well received, but why do you think the community needs this type of ways to remember their lost loves?
I think that pregnancy and infant loss is a really niche aspect of grief and loss. Oftentimes, you're not only grieving the baby that has died, but also the experiences that you're missing out going forward. Oftentimes, parents aren't hearing their baby's names. Either people are uncomfortable saying them or whatever the reason may be. So to have this community of individuals who understand and can find connections and support in each other, I think is just so important.
Yeah. Someone just asked, how do you get involved, sign up for virtual support groups, etc.?
Absolutely. So our support groups are actually open to anybody. Our links are public. We post them on our website at hopeafterloss.org, as well as our Facebook page. So you don't have to sign up. You can just come when you're comfortable and ready to do so. And they're readily available to anybody. The links are posted the day of the meeting, so you can just join. We have all of our groups on Wednesday at 8 p.m., and then we have a men's grief group that meets up bi-weekly Mondays at 8 p.m. So you can just access the link anytime on either our Facebook or our website.
It's wonderful that you have included men as well, because they certainly are feeling through this as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's something that we had wanted to do for a very long time, and we just happened to have two men who were interested in taking the training to become facilitators, and they wanted to make this happen, and they have a good group that is meeting regularly now. So we're really happy that that's happening.
And can you talk a little bit about any of the special events that you guys host or your organization?
Sure. Yes, we have two signature events that happen every year. In this month, in October, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, we have a walk and 5K that happens, and it actually just happened this past weekend on October 3rd. We had over 500 people. They're either participating in person or virtually, mostly in person. it was just beautiful. We have it in Hubbard Park, which is a very centrally located park in Connecticut, and people sign up as teams, and they bring their whole families, and we have just a beautiful remembrance ceremony and a walk, and there's also a 5K earlier in the day. So that just happened. We're actually, just doing all of the wrap up stuff from that, coming off of that. And then in the spring, we have our Compassionate Care Awards, which is where we give awards to caregivers who have given exemplary care to someone in our community. And we ask for nominations, and we have a whole process of selecting who would be the recipients of that particular year. In 2019, actually, 2 people from CARS were nominated and got the awards. And that was Dr. Lawrence Engman and Kathy Paniotti, who I see has just asked about the walk.
Yeah.
But they, that's just a really great celebratory event where we really try to highlight that the actions that people take, the things that they say, the things that they do at the time of a loss are really important in the long-term recovery and just support system for these families. So we try to highlight what the good things are and encourage people to follow up on that. And that's been great. And we also just this past year have added scholarships for caregivers to take this gold standard training in perinatal bereavement. And it's a 2-day course. We were able to send 9 people from Connecticut this past year, and we're hoping to do the same next year in 2022. So we would encourage anyone who is interested. It could be social workers, it could be ultrasound technicians, it could be OBGYNs, it could be labor and delivery nurses to take this training. It's really in depth and really great, and we had a lot of great feedback. So we're going to keep doing that.
Kathy also said Dr. Schmidt as well. You all do great work. Thank you.
Yes. He was this past year. Yes.
How can we support Hope After Loss as an organization?
Well, we're always happy to have sponsors for, we have an annual sponsor program where you can sponsor both of our signature events, or you could choose to sponsor one or the other. That's great. We're always looking for volunteers. We are always looking for just general donations, and really just people spreading the word and telling people that we exist, and making sure to follow up with patients and make sure that they're getting some kind of support, and that they're locked in with some network. So we're happy to help make those connections.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you both for being here, and thank you for your work. It's such important work. What is your website info for anyone who is interested?
So it's hopeafterloss.org. You can also find us on Facebook at Hope After Loss and on Instagram at Hope After Loss.
Did you say .org or .com?
.org.
.org. Okay, just double checking. All right, thank you again, and we will see you next time for another Lunchtime Live. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or looking for more information, please check us out at yukonfertility.com. Bye for now. Thank you.